It's time for another episode of Rainmaker for Contractors. Interviews and success stories with million-dollar-plus basement waterproofing and foundation repair owners. Discover how they market and grow their companies in today's economy. Hear directly from the most successful leaders in your industry. With your host and Rainmaker for Contractors owner, Bill Crawford.
Welcome to the Rainmaker for Contractors podcast. We have a really unique podcast today. As the liaison to the Basement Health Association for Angi, I came across this really amazing promotion that's going to be available. It's going to run over March and April, and I felt compelled to let you know about it. So today I have Ann Liang, who is the Director of Category Management at Angi, and she is going to tell us about this amazing promo coming on. Ann, welcome. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you? Excited to be here.
Awesome. Great. I'm doing awesome. Thank you. So part of the reason why I got excited about this, Ann, is because I've heard a lot of promos for Angi to get new customers on your platform, but this one is really designed for existing customers. So we have a lot of existing customers, and the big headline is with the Basement Health 10% discount lead credit, you can get up to 40% off your leads in April, which is huge. I know a lot of contractors out there are spending a lot of money with Angi. So, Ann, can you tell us about the promo? How does it work and how do you qualify? And well, I'll just let you take it from there.
Yeah. So, thanks, Bill. That sounds great. So kind of before we get into the nitty gritty details of the promo, the one thing I wanted to touch on and just really highlight the reason that we're super excited about this campaign, the reason that we wanted to offer this to the BHA members is, it's a way to really thank you, everyone in the network, for being part of Angi. What really helped us kind of think about this type of promotion is we know that as March and April comes around, that's when we typically see consumer demand to start really spike. Getting it back to the busy season, we wanted to help our pros with a really sweet deal to kind of help them set up for the season and be able to connect with our homeowners and getting the right jobs done. But yeah, this is why we're super excited and we're looking forward to engage with everyone on this campaign. So let me kind of go through the campaign and just share the details with everyone a little bit more.
That'd be great. So this is great. I love this visual. And could you kind of walk us through it?
Yeah, of course. So essentially the campaign is called Buy More, Save More, right? That concept is the more that you invest with Angi, the bigger discount you're going to get. So we currently are offering two tiers. You can either qualify for the 15% discount or the 30% discount. So how does this work? Essentially in March, this is when it's considered your earning month, right? So what that means is, so an average BHA member typically takes about 50 leads per month. What our team has done is essentially, provide a tier target that we're looking for each member to hit. And how this works is for 15% discount, if you reach the 55 number of leads, you can qualify for the 15% discount. However, if you reach 60 leads for the month of March, you can qualify for 30% of the discount. So as you can see, it's the more you invest, the bigger the discount you can essentially qualify for. And then one thing just to note here, that this offer is really unique to each of the member, right? We know that some members, take maybe 100 to 200 leads a month. Some members only take 10 to 20 leads per month. What our team has done is essentially created a very unique offer for each member, where each member has a different tier target that they need to hit in order to qualify for the discount. And then just to kind of touch on what happens when you reach these tiers. For the month of April is when you would actually get your savings. So let's assume a typical BHA member spends about $3,000 a month with Angi. If you qualify for the 15% off, What this actually means is that you're going to get 15% off plus the 10% BHA rebate for the month of April, which is equivalent to 25% total for the month of April. That's equivalent to almost $750, right? The more you spend with Angi, the bigger the discount is there.
Yeah.
And then on the other end, if you qualify for the 30% discount, this means that you could essentially qualify for 40% discount in total for the month of April. That's almost $1,200 worth of saving if you currently spend $3,000 a month on Angi with BHA as a BHA member. I know that, one thing just to kind of note that this really is geared towards existing members, but don't worry, if you're not a member with Angi today, we do have an offer for new members as well. If you sign up with us today, you get 25% off of leads for the first 30 days. In addition, you will also qualify for the 10% BHA rebate that we offer for all BHA members.
That's a great deal. You can't argue with that one. That's great. All right. So if I could ask a question or two here. So first of all, this, the lower tier lead target, is it 55 or is it going to be unique for each BHA member? And you're going to figure that out. Is this a hypothetical?
Yes, this is a hypothetical sort of dumbed down version of how this works. We actually have a team that really takes the time to figure out the different tiers that's unique to each member, right? The way that we think about it is we want to have different tiers, different depending on how much you're spending today. If you're buying 10 leads today, you're going to have a different tier than someone who's currently buying 200 leads. This program is designed to be unique to fit all pros' budget.
Okay. All right. That's doable. And let's see, if I am a BHA member and I buy Angi leads, when will I get this cool email to let me know how many leads I need to buy in March so I could qualify for the April?
Yeah, that's a great question. So essentially, you should be hearing from our team over the next day or two via email. You'll receive an email similar to this. The subject title is similar to receive up to 50% off leads. It should be receive up to 30% off leads. And this is sort of a mock-up of the email that once you receive it, it is going to be sort of customized to each pro. This is just a very sort of straightforward version of the email that shows you, to help you gear for the busy season. You're getting a unique limited time offer starting today. You will see your name and your company name in this specific email. So you know that this offer is specifically for your company.
Okay. All right. So they should be looking for that receive up to, it's probably going to say, up to 40% off. Got it. All right. Because I know a lot of people don't look at their emails. So they need to pay attention if Angi sends them an email.
Yeah, look out for the email over the next 2 days. Something super exciting is coming, and there's nothing you really need to do to opt in for the campaign. You're automatically opt in for the campaign. So the only thing you should be looking out for is, how many more leads should I be getting this month in order to qualify for the 15% discount, as well as how many leads I should be getting to qualify for the 30% discount. This is probably the most important information to you. Everything else is, you're already automatically signed into this promo.
Got it. So if I'm a contractor that maxes out their leads every month, should I be calling my Angi customer service phone number and upping my budget a little bit to make sure I get those leads?
Yeah, that's a great question. So the answer is definitely yes. So there's a couple things, right? Our team actually has put together, different ways, essentially 4 different ways to help our pros getting to those qualifiers. So a couple of ways to increase your volume. One is very, very simple, is simply just keep your match on for the month of March, right? What we typically see is sometimes, there might be an influx of leads coming in and pros might turn off their leads, we really recommend that just keeping your leads on for all month of March to really help you opt in into this program. The other couple, three things you could do is, one is increase your spend target, which Bill, you kind of alluded to earlier. If I'm maxing out my spend target every month, what should I do? Definitely reach out to your local customer care provider to increase your spend target. And then the other two things is, add additional services that you might be able to take on today that you're not currently, taking leads with Angi. And then also simply just adding more zips within your coverage to get more leads. Mm-hmm. And another great thing is what our team has done to try to make this a more streamlined and easy process for our pros is at the beginning of every week. So starting next Monday, you'll also receive an email from Angi that essentially shows the progress to date, right? It shows you, how far you are away from getting to that 15% off or that 30% off for the next month. And then based on that, we've also have provided some specific opportunities for you to increase your spend, right? So you can easily just go through that email and click on all those the 4 different options that I mentioned earlier to help you to get to the threshold. In terms of the additional services and the locations that we have captured here, what our team essentially done is we looked at your sort of, your task coverage, right? Like the tasks that you currently do. And we looked at what other pros with similar coverage, what other tasks that they may do that you don't do today as a way to recommend, you might be interested in taking on, some concrete tasks or anything else that might be relevant to you. And our team has also made it super easy to include nearby zip codes that you're not currently taking on today that you should expand to help you increase your overall volume.
Got it. And are you calling them task or categories? Sometimes when we take over an account, let's say they're basement waterproofer, we'll kind of do an audit on their Angi account and we'll notice like, hey, you're offering basement waterproofing services and here's 2 or 3 categories you should really be in.
Yeah.
Are those tasks, services, or categories?
I guess they're a little bit of both, right? So if you, let's say we're recommending our pros, they're currently just a waterproofer today. What we see is a lot of waterproofers also do concrete category, right? So we might recommend them to look at concrete category, but within concrete category, there are a lot of different tasks within that. You might want to just focus on, concrete raise, or you might want to focus on sump and pump. It really just up to you. What's really great about Angi is we get to go to that granular level and let you select specific tasks that you're interested in. You might not be interested in taking on the entire concrete category just based on bandwidth and availability, but you could take on 1 or 2 tasks within concrete category to help you continue to grow your business.
Nice. All right. And are you still tweaking some categories to kind of align best with the various industries?
We are. I think that's an ongoing and a continuous process of our business, right? And just to touch on that a little bit, essentially what we do is we reach out to BHA partners like BHA and pros within BHA on feedback on specifically, how are our category? Are there any categories that we're currently missing that we don't offer on Angi today? Other categories that can be refined to help you improve your ROI. So a couple of things that's sort of top of mind for me. I know one thing that we've heard is, Angi doesn't offer cross-space encapsulation and repair tasks today. So that's something based on your feedback, we've actually have added to our roadmap.
Nice.
And requested with our product team to be something that we want to focus on for 2022. Similarly, on the concrete side, we definitely have received feedback. Some of the tasks are either too broad or, not, which is not great for our pros ROI. Those type of feedback are super valuable for us because we can actually take that feedback back and work with our product team and figure out what's the best way to optimize and continue to better support our pros business today.
Sweet. Hey, I just wanted to, since we have people's attention, we're going into the waterproofing season. Rain's going to hit, something we've been waiting for a long time. Every winter can be long in this industry, right?
Yeah.
I always knew if I slept well in the wintertime, I had a decent sized backlog in about November 1st. But, to make Angi work, you really need to return those phone calls within 1 to 2 minutes. Just like jump on those phone calls. But another few tips, if I could offer, update your profile, add pictures, keep things current and fresh. If your license expires, you keep that current, because people look at that stuff and they're making evaluations. The other thing I would say is, we know it's all about kind of a race to get to the customer. Send them a text and an email, follow up with them, and make sure you're calling 2 or 3 times in that first day, especially in the first 24 to 48 hours. You want to be all over that lead, but then try to follow them up with text. Some people prefer to work through text or email. Send your credentials and so on. So those are some tips. Make sure you're working the lead credits for the leads that qualify for a lead credit. And and any other tips you could pass along to your clients that are BHA members?
Yeah, I mean, I think you really hit the nail on most of them. Just kind of honing in on your point about following up, right? Just as a homeowner myself, right, I'm definitely guilty in the category that sometimes, just naturally nowadays you get a lot of spam calls, right?
Totally.
Sometimes we're not, homeowners, myself included, are not really great about picking up phone calls from numbers that we don't recognize. So in those cases, definitely to your point, follow up with the text messages, right? Like, though I think especially a lot of homeowners today are very responsive to text messages. It's kind of almost like more the preferred way to work in the future, right? So make sure that you're following up across different types of communication methods, as you mentioned, to ensure a high success rate in reaching our homeowners. And then I think the other point that I just wanted to hone in a little bit more is on the point of, waterproofing specifically is very sensitive to weather, right? I think I was just looking at the weather forecast over the next week or two. That's something that we keep an eye on. We know there's going to be high precipitation coming around the Northeast. So one thing that really recommend is continuing to keep your leads on, right? I understand that, we typically see an influx of homeowner demand during that time, but this is a great opportunity to kind of build your pipeline. What's really great now is I think homeowners has almost more of a expectation that, a lot of jobs are not going to be done right away because of all the things that's been happening in the market. It's a great opportunity for you to actually be able to close leads, even though you may not have capacity to do those jobs over the next week or two, and just continue to build up your pipeline as you fill up during these busy seasons.
Yeah, if I could throw a tip out, I talked to various contractors, especially waterproofers throughout the country, and some are kind of a little bit scared to have a backlog that's more than 4 to 6 weeks long. And I've talked to other contractors and they're saying, this is back in like October, November. Oh, our backlog is 6 months. And it is what it is, because they can't get to them and they want to go with the company, and it's okay to put them there. Right?
Yeah.
So that's okay. It's great to, build your pipeline. I like that. Hey, I wanted to give a shout out to the Basement Health Association, because let's see if this is going to work for me. Here it is. All right. So if you'd like to join the Basement Health Association, you could join right online. It's basementhealth.org, and you can go right to member benefits. And Angie's going to be first there. And then you could just go under where it says contractors, join and renew for a merely $3.95. You could get a 10% discount on your Angi leads, in addition to a whole bunch of other member benefits. So that is a beautiful thing. And any last words as we wrap up here? Take advantage of the promo. It's an awesome opportunity to get a huge discount.
I will say this is one of the first time we are actually offering this. So it's a very, very limited time offer, and it's not going to come around very often. And again, it's really a way for us to really thank our loyal, Angi members. And we really hope you can take advantage of this deal and help you prep for the peak season that's coming up, and hope you have an awesome 2022, and hope we can continue to grow together on Angi.
Absolutely. Last thing, if there's questions, is there a number to call on that email?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, there will be contact info on that email that you can reach out to our customer care team that can provide more details, more information around it.
Awesome. And always a pleasure to talk with you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Likewise.
You've been listening to the Rainmaker for Contractors podcast, where basement waterproofing and foundation repair business owners and industry experts share marketing and sales information that helps you reach more customers. Please leave us a review on iTunes or your favorite podcast platform, and get all of our show notes at rainmakerforcontractors.com/podcast.